What's up, CK fam?
Hi guys.
Welcome to our YouTube channel. I am Cleon.
And I am Karisha.
And this is Connecting with CK. Today we're going to talk about a topic. Guess the topic? Yes, marriage. So we're going to talk about getting married young. So if this is something you're interested in, if you feel like this is something you want to learn about, this is the right place. After the intro. Alright, so we're going to talk about 3 topics. No.
We're going to talk about one topic.
So the topic is getting married young, and we're going to talk about, we have like 3 pointers. We're just going to raise 3 questions and just talk about them. What's the first question, babe?
The first question is going to be, what are our views on marriage?
Yeah, our views. My view. Oh, I view marriage.
Well, first of all, tell them what you think is marriage.
Alright, so marriage, as it say, no.
Well, marriage.
Alright, so marriage, or me view marriage without like a biblical explanation or Google. It's just a commitment between a man and a woman before God. You know, so what I get from that, it means some things now, it's like commitment for life. You know, you can't, something that you can't escape. Some people call it a death trap, you know, especially for man. Women always say things like, what are you saying to my wife and kids again? She say
She say, basically, the wedding, the marriage is for her and for him. Is if he remember the anniversary when him sign, say, I don't remember exactly what she said word for word.
Yeah, but
basically you're supposed to just, you're married to me, for remember, say this is your anniversary, don't get that wrong.
Yeah,
That's basically what she said. I don't have that either.
what's your view?
My view on marriage is pretty much the same thing. So basically, like, marriage biblically is a representation of how Jesus is with his bride, which is the church. So, you know, basically, like, man and woman, them come together and they form a covenant.
Yeah.
Right? And if we want to go deeper, you know, Christ is the head, and then the church has to submit to Christ, you know, and Christ lays down his life for the church.
Yeah.
So that's what I believe marriage is, where a man lays down his life for his wife. Whatever him do for himself, him do for she. A woman in turn submits to her husband and respects him.
Yeah, so what do you mean by that? Because that sounds like slavery kinda. What do you mean by that? Because, like, I know some women are going to hear you say that. No, I was like, "Cho, who from us, girl? Right? That?"
Like this, I don't know if she would watch this or whatever, but I know someone or knew of someone where, you know, when we were having a conversation, she say, "Me and a man helper," and she's Christian.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I laugh because I'm like, you know, help and I mean like, oh,
Slave.
me a maid or me a slave, and everything we drop on the ground, let's pick it up behind you. But for me, submission is not where you have something around my neck and you drag me upon a leash and I say, come, you know, this is how more you have to do, this is one more you have to go, XYZ. Submission to me is basically, think about you submitting to God, right? Not saying that your spouse is your God, you know, but think about it in terms of you submitting to God. Submission to God is yielding even though you don't feel like it. You know, so there are certain things that you, not even certain things, whatever you do as unto God, right? The Lord is his head, he in turn is my head. So if I am serving him, I'm serving him as unto the Lord. So therefore submission is, even if me not feel like to do it, I am serving him because
God said.
God said so.
Just for obey God.
Just to obey the Lord.
But
so
I think there are like certain instruction in the Bible.
mm-hmm.
And again, a lot of people might disagree, you know, but we're going to talk about it. The Bible says, men should love your wife as Christ loved the church.
Mm-hmm.
And then it say again, the same passage, you can read Ephesians 5. It says, women, submit to your husband, you know. And I want to talk a little bit especially about the man part,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I read about that one mostly. And it says, men should love your wife as Christ loved the church, because the church is the body of Christ, right? And then there's we say, you two become one, so you are my body.
Mm-hmm.
We're one.
Basically, whatever I do to myself, I'm doing to him.
Yeah, so we're one now. So, like, my view on this is like a man in a marriage, each is the server. Not that women don't serve, but like Bible say like a man nourish. A man, if you love your body, you nourish your body, you take care of your body.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and my perspective is a man should take care of his wife and his family. You know, like actually in every way. Work, provide for your family.
Mm-hmm.
Not that woman not for work either, but I believe in a man being what we would call breadwinner.
The
You
sole
know?
provider.
Yeah, the main provider. I believe in like if your woman or your wife, your your whatever wife, your queen, your lady. I believe like if you take care of her, if she want to go out there, you call that a spa. Even if you not reach that level yet where you can take care of your wife that way.
At least something
if you desire,
is like not. It doesn't have to be monetary alone either. It's just like the mere thought. Like
I think you should.
You know.
A man should desire for take care of him wife in that way, and not just him wife, because we can go further. Because marriage, when you talk about marriage, you talk about one of the second things. First thing people think about, oh, like Christians that get married now, is sex, and then after that, kids. You know, so like a man, that's the man's role. I believe a man should be a man where he take responsible and provide for his family.
Responsibility.
Whatever it is. He is responsible to support his family, especially financially and emotionally too, and spiritually. That's probably the most important one, you know. But let me be honest. You can pray all you want. Pray 24 hours. But at the end of the day, if you don't work, and you don't at least desire to provide for a woman, she not interested in you. May I tell her that? Am I lying? Huh?
No.
Yeah, she
because I think that especially like in this day and age, a lot of women.
Nah, I cut you. Especially a black woman, especially a Jamaican woman. Yeah, African, Jamaican, you have to work, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's not a joke.
That's true.
And then like when it comes on to, and I know I'm talking long, but you know this message has been on my heart. When it comes on to a woman, it never say a woman for love her husband. It's a respect, because men desire. That's, you know what, me never ask you like for love me. Me say just respect me.
It's like Jesus didn't ask the church to love him. It's our mandate to obey him, right? Because the Bible says we love because he first loved us, right? So with your husband loving you first, automatically when a woman feels like she's loved, she then feels like she is safe. And then it's like emotionally she can release. And I'm not a quick person to release, but I am with someone who he is patient enough for me to release. And then when I release, I feel safe. And then I want to keep releasing. I want to keep telling him things, So when a man loves you first, it's automatic for a woman to, respect him all the more, honor him all the more, because that's what I think that's what makes men feel loved and heard. When them feel like, say, you respect his authority. And when I say this, I don't mean to say, oh, him the yasso and you the bottom of the barrel type of thing. Like, he's your superior and you're inferior to him. What I mean by that is that it's a what I call it, like a pyramid. Then you have God, who is his head. You have him, who is my head, and then you have me. I'm his help.
Something comes to mind, but you can go ahead.
But before me even say that, or before we even reach here, so what I was gonna say before is that, remember, because man talk about it, like, I think it's very important to stress that we're living in a day and age now where women, you have women who say, I'm independent, I can provide for myself, I don't need no man, I don't need XYZ,
Yeah.
And in all fairness, nothing is wrong with that. You can be independent, right? But you still are dependent on something or someone. For me, I consider myself an independent woman, but my independence could not come out of itself. I had to be dependent on someone before, right? It's just like today I was driving home and a thought came to me, say, I can only be confident in my job if I'm confident in the source of my job. The giver of my job is God. So if I am confident in my maker, I am then confident in the one who made me. I'm confident in the one who made me. So I can say, yeah, like, I know what I'm doing. I know that I can do my job well because I'm doing it as unto the Lord. So nothing is wrong if I am dependent on my husband to provide. That don't mean say I can't do it by myself, but I think when you give men that kind of freedom for say, oh, I'm dependent on him, it push him to say, say, me have people that depend on me, and I want to. Nothing is better than a man who wants to provide.
Yeah, and
because you have men who feel forced into providing.
Yeah. Like, if I could, this is just my heart. Like, if I could just say, no, don't work. I do it. But that's sense. Don't work.
Yeah.
And whatever you want, they just do it. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think men should desire things like that. Like, my wife work, man. Just make sure go and easy back.
And define not working. Do you mean like, a woman for just stay home and she for just wait by your hand and foot and be like, honey, here's your dinner, hey, when I come home, make sure there's food up on the table, because at this me, I'll go out there and work for, explain what you mean. Is that the type of woman you're looking for?
I don't think men should hold that over women and like, cook, or do something, you know what I mean? Like, my mother teach me how to cook. Me learn how to cook by myself. So I don't really expect, like, I'm not depending on my wife to cook for me. You know what I mean? If me hungry, I'm just buy something. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm hungry and I'm on the road and I'm making money, I just buy something to eat. Probably for 2 hours too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think a woman staying home, it have to be like, suppose you desire something different. Suppose you desire for I don't believe in. I don't believe in laziness.
Yeah.
I don't believe in staying in bed until 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
If I see that, I'm gonna be like, no, what am I working for? You know, like at least get up early. If you get up early, sake, you know, and then I'm gonna do that, you go to sleep. You know.
I am not an early riser.
You get me? I say, but that's good in a woman too. When a woman want to work, you know, when a woman want to work, it's also attractive. You know, but I think it's a man's desire to provide for a woman. You know, same like how it's a man's desire to give him mother everything and say, mommy, just relax, just retire now. I think that's the same. I desire the same thing. One day, I want to say to my wife, say, babe, you know, have to work if you don't want to work, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that I want to, not that I want her to be a slave and just steal.
But where you can say, babe, you know,
Yeah,
if you don't want to work,
yeah, it's your choice.
you don't have to. But if you do work, you know, I guess that's something that gives you
It made me feel
some
like,
kind of pleasure.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, we still have more.
That's what marriage is. That's what is marriage led us to all those different things.
Yeah.
But we want to actually talk about.
Yeah, cause we can chat, you know. We can make just this one point. We can do it just one video.
Yeah.
But
our views on getting
yeah. We have some chat too much.
No.
Yeah. So the next question is, why are we getting married young?
But we never talk. We never. Sorry, go on.
Sure. So, why are we getting married young? So, if you don't know, we're engaged to be married a few months from
Can
now.
let me think. I can tell him my age.
Few months from now, and we're young. The youngest one look like the oldest one.
Shut up.
But yeah, why we get married young? One, my reason, it would be to honor God. You know, I think as a Christian, you're walking with God. Sex should not be a thing where it hinder you. I don't want that to hinder me. You know, because I have a purpose. You cannot allow sexual sin to stop you. You know what I mean? And I was reading 1 Corinthians 7 today, you know, and it says, it was basically saying, like, if you desire and if you know that you can't control yourself, well, I could have controlled myself, but I still want to get married. You know what I mean? Yeah, because more have sex.
Yeah.
And a lot of people,
They might look upon that like, wow,
you just get married
that's
for
all
sex?
I want the people them gripping to do.
But the thing is, I don't get married just for sex. I get married to have sex. You know? Because I'm not just go out there and married anybody.
Yeah, tell them the difference, babe.
If I saw, I would have married a long time ago. But when you see the right person, I think you should just take advantage of it.
It's just like what your cousin said when we were on our way home the other day. Him say a lot of people don't pass up goal or something like that.
Yeah, like they don't appreciate like the right person. They take advantage of the right person, and then when that person gone, they're like, wow. You know, now they meet a bad person. But that's one point though. That's like, yeah, to have sex.
Yeah.
And to glorify God, like we in a relationship. In a relationship, or if you not even have sex, there are certain we call it now. We can just hug you, and I feel tempted. You know what I mean? I don't want those stuff. When I hug you, I hug you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my next point though is to to build to build. Like, I personally want a lifestyle. I don't want just I want a good lifestyle. I don't want like my dad, she and her sister, and then sometimes the one they come look for me. I don't want that. I used to live like that. Not even, and that's a video for another time. But I used to do that, and now as a Christian I'm saying I don't want that lifestyle. I no desire for have 10 women,
Yeah.
And I can give you some points, like having one woman, I think save you a lot of money, Yeah, you save a lot. I think there's a better opportunity, there's a better future financially. Because the right woman, you save money. You know what I mean? Like, you can have this big dream, but with the wrong woman, it's come like it's torment, because you try to save, and this woman just take your money, and then when you have two girls, that even worse. Because guess what? One, you're hiding one of the girls.
Yeah.
So when you come from work, you just go look for her, and then you have to buy her something,
Yeah, for she keep her mouth.
Yes, you buy her something, and then you're broke by weekend.
Yeah, tell people things. Yeah, give people certain secret indirectly.
No, no secret.
Yeah, give them tips indirectly.
Just a talk.
Indirectly. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I don't want a lifestyle. I don't want a lifestyle, when we just live wild. And I know that God is against it. So as a man of God, a man who fears God, I try to steer from it, And marriage is that place where you can commit, where it's a commitment. You make it before God, so it's even more risky.
Yeah.
It's not like some normal relationship where I say, babe, make we just do that no, man.
And it's not even about me, really. It's like you say, it's a commitment. It is not just a commitment to me where I say, well, I don't want a bag of woman, I just have one wife, I want to make she happy. But it, like you say, you're a man who fears God, so that commitment is really out of your fear of God or your reverence for the Lord. Because if you the Bible say, if you even look at a woman, you are committing adultery.
Yeah.
So, and you can have so many different conversations out of this one thing.
Yeah.
But really and truly, your commitment is first to God and then to your spouse, right? Because if you commit a sin and you say that break God's heart, I think that also hinders you from committing a sin against your spouse, because, well, your spouse have feelings, your spouse ought to go broke too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think that was good.
Yeah. Another reason, like, why I desire to get married young, is for family, to start a family. I don't want to. People have this thing where say, I'm gonna get rich first. How long does that take?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to get rich with one person.
Yeah.
If it's I think, wow. Don't make me get your brain here. Alright, so like, you want to get rich with one person. Even if you desire whatever riches is to you, like, I don't want to have like my kids over here and then my kids are like, oh, this is my stepmom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, my kids first, we want to set a foundation for my kids, and when me and the mother, like, we have something. It's not a thing where me meet this woman and then we come together at age 35. But when you grow together,
Yeah.
it's it's like
It sets
there's
like a
substance in it. Like,
that kind of foundation.
yeah, where your kids grow up and say, oh, my mother and my father they married. So that's the first thing.
Yeah.
My mother and my father they married. So marriages, they must be married too. They might get married too.
Yeah.
You know? Bible said
And
grow up.
with that too is like, I don't cut you, babe, but it's like sorry. But it's like because you have it depends too, because you can have a good marriage and then you have people will come up and say, we want a wild lifestyle because of the environment with them.
Yeah, but you know, hear me do that still.
Well,
Bible said train the children
well, there you
in
go.
the way they are supposed to grow.
Yes, sir, preach.
Yeah. And they will never leave that way. You know, I kind of paraphrase still, but you know, yeah. So those are what 3 points.
Yeah.
If you want more points, check out the part 2. But we are going on a commercial break right now. So we're going to talk a bit about some things that we're doing, like my lady here. She starts a blog. It's called
She's Favored, or she believes she is favored.
Yeah, and you can check it out. And we're gonna put the link in the description. Just check it out. Sign up. Check it out. Sign up. If you have come this far to the video, we're just asking you to subscribe, because obviously if you reach this far, you're
that means
engaged.
that you like something.
Yeah, you like it. So we have a lot more. Some people just lazy to make videos. So yeah. So yeah, just subscribe, share it with a friend. When we post, just comment, man, and hit the notification bell, so every time I post, you know. Now back to the video. The third one is, should you get married young?
Baby, not ask if I review them.
Okay, backtrack. What's your view? Why are we getting married young? What's your view? What, not even remember that. You forgot?
No, you're asking me why I think I should get married.
Yeah, why do you think?
Well, I choose to get married young. Well, I wouldn't be getting married if you didn't propose, so there you go. Laugh. So I share similar views with him. Mine are in different order, but I choose to get married young, or I've had a desire to get married at a certain age, because you get to build with the person, and like him say, you get to grow up with the person. Cause not saying that anything is wrong with meeting someone, you know, at age 35 or age 40 or whatever, and decide to get married and not building a life. But it's like I get to grow up with him. I get to measure where I come from and where and where he is now, type of thing. You know, we get to build in a certain way together, where I now come in the relationship with, oh, me have a house, I may have land, I may have this, I may have that and stuff, and then we have to try to decide, okay, who I keep this and who I go do this and X, Y, Z. But it's like we're both starting fresh. I don't own a home, him don't own a home, you know. We have cars, you know, but like prefer have a house than a car, right? Somewhere we can lay a head permanently. And just financially we can say, oh, you know, you remember when we did have $200 in our bank account, and now we have XYZ amount in our bank account, and we're learning to celebrate milestones, just little things, and not do no big extravagant thing, but it's like, babe, we reached this goal what we said we did want to reach, and you know, we actually acknowledge, say, we've come this far. Another reason for me is, you know, to honor God with my body, You know, I also believe
pretty
it up. No, I also believe that, you know, to get married young, the Bible says it is better to marry than to burn. And me no want burn. I don't want to be so filled up with passion where I sin against God. You know, where me I lust and me I think about all these different types of things. I prefer to get married where I can do those things guilt free with the one that I love. You know, with my husband, with one person. You know, and I think that getting married young, it gives you a certain level of enjoyment for life, you know. Not saying that this person is my whole entire world or whatever, but this person also contributes to my well-being. You know, this person contributes to my happiness, and I feel like you just see a certain spark where you can measure and be like me said in the first point, I saw we did there and I saw we did know. So you get to measure where not come from and where not going. You get to dream together. That's another thing where, like, for me, I love writing, and for him, you know, he believes in owning a store one day, you know, and just doing things to glorify God, whether it be with music or, you know, with writing or whatever. You know, he's very talented and I'm very talented, praise the Lord, you know. So like I get to dream with him when we're this young, where I'm gonna meet you and you have this big company already. Not that anything is wrong with that, but I think when you're there with somebody, when you're married young, it just reminds you where you're coming from, you know. Especially when things get a little hard, that's going to happen. But it's like you can look back on things and say, "Whoa, we were at this certain stage in our life. We could go before God and make Him help us to get back there or even better."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there are benefits to getting married young, and I'm not oppose it. In fact, I encourage it. So, young men, propose to your women.
So you right there, should you get married young? This is just our advice. You know, I'm gonna say yes, like as a white thing, but then we're gonna talk about it. I think we did have one more point. Wait, but we're not really say it still. But should you get married young? My answer is yes. One is
for the reasons I'm always list before.
Yeah, for the reasons we just list. Look, God honors when you want to honor Him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm learning as a man to put those urges aside. You know, to put urges aside and actually be more disciplined when it comes on to sex and serve God first. When you put God first, then if God wants you to get married, He's gonna encourage it. What I don't believe in is unless there are other circumstances, you know, like but I don't believe in taking a man, daughter out of our house, out of them house, out of our safe place, and you know, married to her. Because if you're not married legally, you're just come like on our friend. We live together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I believe in just women like those stuff. So if you love her, if you say you love her, just commit to her.
Yeah.
You know, if she's the only one you want.
And please forget about this whole thing we say. At the same thing, marriage is just one piece of paper. It is not.
Yeah.
It is not.
The most thing is doing it for God.
Yeah.
you know, and choosing the right person. If you and the person have been going, you guys have been going for so long, and you're not married, I encourage you to get married because God don't like sin, and believe it or not,
Yeah.
one day me or you we're gonna dead, you know, and God say the sexually immoral, you are not anybody is sexually immoral, whether it be porn, whether it be lust. I know this is marriage, but I'm just getting this out there, where whatever immoral whatever immoral act you're doing, God said you cannot enter.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you can't say, me never tell you watch the video to this far. So I say, here. You know what I do? And I'm glad to watch it so far. So you're here. So there's no repentance in the grave. So I'm just being straightforward. Because judgment, the Bible say, where we go? Each. It's a day is appointed to each man. Remember, go the right way, and then comes judgment. Yeah, so then comes judgment after death, judgment. Or maybe I just may interpret it wrong, but just honor God. Honor God. When God look by you and say, "Oh, yo, you don't want to be I don't want to be a person where just." When God bless me, say, yes, Jesus, thank you. You know what I mean? But the most, they honor me.
Yeah. But their hearts are far.
Their lips, a lip service. I don't want lip service. God don't want lip service. God don't want lip service. So that's just my encouragement to you. It might sound a little harsh or a little straightforward, but I don't think we can do it no better.
And one thing I would like to add to is like, I know that women can be in certain situations where they probably won't get married, or even men won't get married, but and not even just circumstances, but you're a believer, right? One person is a believer, like say you want gotta convict you, say say this thing is not right. We should get married, but your spouse thinks otherwise. Yeah, them believe in a God, but them not have a relationship with God, and you do. I think that's a conversation to have with your spouse, because you don't want to live in fear
of losing someone
over your eternity. Yeah. I think that your eternity trumps any love you can have in this life.
Yeah.
Because your real love is here.
Yeah.
It's never here first.
Yeah.
Your real love is vertical first and then horizontal. So if you are a woman where I say, yeah, but I love him and we have a baby together, we have kids together already, we got church, that means nothing to God. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's like mockery before him, where but it's like you believe in him, but you can't believe in him for this thing. If that person is for you, if that man or that woman is for you, God I go put it on them heart just to see him. And me not say you have to pray and say, oh God, please change him, please make him whatever. You be the change where you want to see first. Live out that conviction first.
You have a phone?
Yeah. Wait, did I?
No. Bible verse, remember. Where your phone?
I don't know.
Okay, go on talk. Go feed.
But yeah, live out that conviction. Live out what God I tell you to do. And I'm not saying if get up and leave right away, but if you have the conversation with the person and they must say, I don't believe in that, I don't believe in whatever, we live together, we're already whatever, we're basically married. No. The Lord wants you to be married, where did it say? Before him. Or have witnesses around you where them can attest to say, you got married in the sight of God then, or to honor the Lord. Living with someone and you have the desire to get married, or and them I said no, I don't want to get married for whatever reason, and you're living in sin. I encourage you not to. I encourage you to have the conversation,
Yeah.
and my uncle has said this personally because being transparent and all, I've been through it. I've been through it, and that's a conversation for another time, testimonial wise. But I'm just encouraging you that it has consequences. Everything that we do, even when you're married and you sin, it has consequences. Everything we do have consequences. So the aim really is to please God.
Yeah.
So marriage honors the Lord. The Bible stresses the roles of wives and the roles of husbands, and I think that we should just honor God in every way that we possibly can.
Yeah. So the Bible verse that came to my mind, it's 1 Timothy 1 verse 19. It's a holding faith and a good conscience. By rejecting this, some have made shipwreck of their faith, among whom are Arminius and Alexander, whom I have handed over to Satan, that they may learn not to blaspheme. So the part I want to share is holding faith and good conscience. By rejecting when the Spirit of God talk to you, you hear? They have shipwrecked their faith. You know what I mean? So now it's like they don't even hear God now. Do not quench the Spirit. Me I go on too much,
No, that yeah.
So that's my thing. Holding faith and a good conscience. So this is just an encouragement. Yes, God wants us to be married. If it's not on your heart to get married, obviously it's a singleness is a gift from God. That's what the Bible says.
Yeah.
So if that's not your desire, that's alright. But what's that word? Jacking up. God is not a God.
Shacking up.
Jacking.
Shacking up.
God said no shacking up, and yeah, this is just the truth, and I'm just joyful. I'm just spread it with peace and joy and love. So yeah, no shacking up, and we encourage you to get married. One of the reasons I also want to get married is to be an example for the people who are looking at me. I have a cousin, and she said, older than me, and she said to me, one day she asked me, you were there, and she asked me on the phone, she said, oh, you turned Christian. And then I said it, and then she said, I feel like God had took upon me. And then she said to me, me really look up to you. I'm not lying. God said I know, so I'm not lying. She said that to me, and she older than me. So I know that there are people around me, people in my circle where everybody have influence. It's not just me. You have influence. So it's just like I want to leave a legacy. Leave a legacy that it's just inspirational and encouraging and godly. That's the legacy I want to leave. So this is the end of the video, guys. I just want to let you know that God love you, and He's saying,
God love you,
fix the baby. Yeah, He's saying, come to Him, get married. Bible say, in the last day, some people are gonna come with some doctrine and say, don't get married and don't eat that the food there. I don't know if you know that Bible verse, but yeah, probably I talk too much, but the end. Like, subscribe, and share.
And comment.
what she says. Until next time.